It is time for a double feature of Oshi no Ko unboxings, this time with the two Nendoroids here. We have Kana and Aqua here. I am looking forward to this entire set. Now, I do have some issues with how they're releasing the set, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. But for now, we're going to go ahead and unbox these, take a look at them, see how they turned out, and then we'll talk about them at the end. So let's get right on into it. We're going to start with Aqua, and then we'll finish with her. So they're kind of releasing them in an odd order. They released Aqua and her first, and then they're going to have I coming soon, and Ruby is coming later this year. Akane is coming later this year, and then mem-cho is coming next year. So they are making quite a few of them for this series. Now, I do have an issue with how they're doing that, and I'll talk about that whenever I talk about her, but we'll get into that. But as for Aqua here, you can see he's got two different face sculpts there, the main thing. He's got his light stick here that is the white one, so that looks nice. And then some different accessories here. Not a whole lot, but I think they got the general kind of what you would want out of him across. So let's go ahead and get the top off here. Now, I will go ahead and show you the two face prints a little bit up close here. We have a different, like a smile and then a subtle smile there. I don't really think he works well with a smile. Now, I mean, if you wanted to put him with a smile, I guess that would work, but Aqua's never been the one that needs like a smile. In my opinion, this looks much better. Kind of this neutral tone to where he doesn't really care about what's going on. He's got more things to deal with, especially in his life. That's also kind of how I feel about the accessories here. I'm not going to put any on him, and the reason why is just because I don't think he really works with any accessories. Now, if you wanted to kind of display him like this here, to where he's kind of got his arm, you know, against his hip or whatever, I think that would work, but personally, I'm just going to give him kind of this more just standard look. I think that fits him, and especially whenever you have a whole cast beside one another. Like right now, it's just these two, but when you get the entire cast, I think having kind of subtle looks makes them work better together. If you have the entire cast all with different poses that don't really look well together, I think that kind of takes away from the overall thing. Now, for like, say, I, who will be like the centerpiece, it's okay to give her something, but you won't want to do that for all of them. So we're going to get his base out of here. Then don't forget, whenever you unbox an Nendoroid, don't ever forget to keep up with this. This is a replacement neck joint. You will not need this unless the neck joint breaks, and it can. Especially if you want to come back later and change anything, those neck joints can break. That's why they supply you with an extra one. So keep up with that, because it is the same skin tone as him. Without that same skin tone, your neck can look a different color, and it's just kind of distracting. So keep up with that. And there we go. Yeah, I think that turned out pretty well. I will do a close-up here in a minute whenever we get them both unboxed, but yeah, I think he turned out pretty good. Like I said, not a whole lot you can do with him. He's kind of a more, I don't want to say not as interesting of a character. He's plenty interesting, but he kind of doesn't have like a bunch of accessories or whatever you could attach with him. He just kind of exists. So moving on to Kana here. Now this one, she is probably either my favorite or second favorite character of the entire cast. So I was looking very forward to this one. And they do have a few extra accessories with her that I'm looking forward to. So let's go ahead and get her unboxed. Now, one thing about her that we got to talk about, and this is the thing I was alluding to earlier. So she is in her standard outfit here, her school uniform. We got Aqua here in his standard, like, school uniform. We got mem-cho in hers, and then Akane is in hers, and then Kana is in hers. The problem is that Ruby is in her Bikomachi performing outfit, which is also fine if they gave mem-cho and Kana that same outfit, which they did not. So right now, if you wanted to pre-order Ruby to go with your Aqua here, they wouldn't really fit. because they are never really like none of their iconic scenes between Aqua and Ruby have Ruby in that outfit. She's in her standard school outfit. So what I don't like about that is that what they're doing is they're trying to tell you, hey, go out and buy this Ruby because it's the only Ruby that's out right now, but we will be putting out a standard one probably in a year or two, probably later this year whenever they air season 2, and then you gotta buy Ruby twice. So, if you want Ruby and Aqua, then wait on Ruby. But if you want to have Ruby in the performing outfit, and then you want to have Kana and mem-cho in their performing outfits, don't buy this Kana. Just buy the ones you want, because there's no sense in buying 2 of the same figure, basically, in a different outfit, because the head is going to be pretty much the exact same. But anyway, moving on from that, let's look at some of the accessories here. You see, she has got a bit more variety in her face sculpts here. Kind of a laughing one here, and then a almost singing one there. So really nice there. And then you get her standard look here. Let's get that off there so you can actually see her face. I like that one. Now I will say, they nailed this hair color. I was kind of worried that the hair color may be a bit too dark because a few of the figures of her have done that. They've made her hair too red. This seems to have nailed it. It's almost like a pinkish red, almost like a magenta. It's a weird way of kind of describing it, but they nailed it. They nailed it on this one, so I have no complaints about that. So we do have a few different arm variations on this one, as well as hand variations. One of them here, I will get it swapped out here, and then I will show it to you, is one where you can do like I explained with Aqua here. You can put it to where her hand is on her hip. Now, I think this fits her a lot better than it would him, because she is more kind of a sassy type character, so it fits her character far better. So yeah, you can see it there. We got it kind of placed on her hip there. Now that is kind of hard to get into place because you only do get 2 extra arm things, so it is kind of very precise how you've got to do that, but it does work. And finally here, you do get her hat, which I think is very cute here. You can see it there. We also have that on the back. So this is a very interesting thing you have to be very careful with whenever you make or you put together your Nendoroids here. So you've got to do it like I explained with the Demon Slayer one, to where you've got to be very careful whenever you remove the front of their hair. Now, the difference is you don't want to remove it completely. You just want to make a small gap like that. And then on your hat here, you'll notice this tiny little clip there. You see it there. Now these are very, very fragile. So be very careful when putting it in that little ridge there. You want to squeeze it between the 2 there. And then whenever you do that, just hook it on there. And I missed. So let me get that right. And there. So as you can see now, her hat will stay on. It does sit in the right position. It's not on top of her head. It is in the correct position there, and it looks very nice. So be aware of that. That is how you put that in there. Don't try to force it in there because it's just plastic and it will break. So make sure you pull that apart, then slide it in, then squeeze the hair back together, and it will press against that and hold it in place. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and give you some close-ups of these, and then I will come back and I will talk about them. So overall, I think these are pretty good. I have no real issues with them. It's a set to where you pretty much, unless you want one character specifically, you're going to want the whole set, at least so you can kind of make some interactions between maybe 2 of them, or 3 of them, or 4 of them, whatever. Or 6 of them if you want the entire set. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this line grows. These are the first 2, as I mentioned. I should be coming fairly soon, and then Ruby later this year, and Akane later this year, first of next year, and then mem-cho will be next year as well. And then obviously, like I mentioned, we'll probably get a B Komachi of her, we'll get a B Komachi of mem-cho, and we'll get a standard outfit for Ruby fairly soon. Probably next year sometimes, but they're going to milk us into getting 9 of them instead of what we should have got was 6 of them. But overall, I do recommend them if you're interested in the series. If you do enjoy that, you will enjoy these figures. Obviously, we're not going to get any kind of like pops or anything of this series because it's just not that popular. Not popular enough for that. And pops usually go for more action genre. They're very rarely going to do any kind of like series like this that are more drama related or whatever. So if you want these, you want a kind of a chibi look of one of them, get these. There are some figures of them you can get. If you want one of them, get that. But I do recommend these if you're interested in the series. So anyway, that will be about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.